Hello friends and fans, welcome to our channel. Today, I'm going to tell you about some really creepy dark stories of deep web, also known as dark web. One of the most persistent stories on the dark web refers to the existence of so-called red rooms. These are live streams where viewers can supposedly see the real-time torture and killing of people, seemingly the victims of kidnappings. There has never been any proof that Red Room exists other than as a hoax or a faked video. Still, these are stories aplenty, usually without any sort of source. The most interesting has to be about a Red Room featuring just a lame young woman. But that didn't mean that the show couldn't go on. This is what I imagine it might have been like. Patiently sitting in a chair, she waited for her audience to log in. Nothing else is visible but this one slight woman and her Spartan chair. She looks directly into the camera and says, "What would you like me to do? Or how much will you pay me?" It's an innocent enough question, but this audience knows the true meaning behind her words. "Cut yourself," one anonymous viewer writes. Dutifully, the girl retrieves a knife from off-screen and slices deeply across her forearms. This is serious, like hungry dogs. Other begins typing. Within a few minutes, she is sporting bruises, cuts, and a partially gouged out eye. Clearly, that's not much more she can take. What will happen next? Weakly, she reached for the knife again, but this cut will be the last without a word. This tortured soul ends it right there and the picture fades out. Number 2 is the cannibal. Cannibalism refers to the act of eating a member of your own species. We see this happen in nature all the time, but for most human societies, this is one of the greatest taboos possible. Still, plenty of cultures in the history of humanity have practiced the act of consuming human flesh, often for ritual purposes. We also have people like Jeffrey Dahmer, who murdered and ate a long list of victims. Still, in modern society, cannibalism is far from normal. So you can imagine that someone browsing the dark web may have been quite shocked to find a cannibal cook. Redditor Beckenboy Lighter was one such victim. According to the creatively named user, it was typical in computer science class. In such words, they are bored out of their skulls and decided to trawl the dark web for something interesting. It was during this lazy search that they happened upon a cookbook, not just any cookbook, but one that details exactly how to go about butchering and cooking a woman. This matter-of-fact digital term even went as far as interesting the reader on how to keep the victim alive for as long as possible. Obviously, there is no clue as to who the author is, but with so much detail it's hard to imagine that the document is the result of pure imagination. We all just hope it's an expression of sick fantasy. Number 3. A girl named Janice. Creepy woman. If something about a website seemed odd, how would you know if you're really experiencing something supernatural or was simply being messed up? That's a question. I have some serious thought when I first heard this story from the depths of the deep web. The hero of our story is a bit of a strange character himself, Mark Spillman. Mark Spillman is the ultimate internet hermit. He never leaves the house or can in the original tale. His only joy in life is sitting in front of a computer and trawling the internet for the most messed up stuff he can find, like murder, torture, child pornography, and everything else that represent the most horrifying things the net spews out. This was just an average day for Mark, whose mental hygiene could not have been great to begin with. Like most people who are obsessed with these sort of materials, Mark was always pushing to find the bottom of the cash pool. Curiously, it was a job application with the police that gave him the perfect excuse to freely look for and find the worst the dark web has to offer. As a child porn hunter, Mark was meant to find and report the material and nail any user who failed to protect their identity. Mark hits pay dirt, spiraling deeper and deeper into the internet hellhole until he hit the jackpot. A site simply named title Sweet15.com. The biggest child porn site I had ever seen, was how the man described it. Taking down this site he thought would make him a legend and earn him a massive commission. All Mark needed to get the go-ahead was a single picture of illegal porn. This site avoided image embedding, but he was looking at huge list of JPG files, all with the names of girls. Clicking on the first link, an image of a girl appears on the screen. This isn't porn, it's just some beige young girl with a creepy smile arrive. He was like, who was this girl? The image is named Janice JPG. No matter which link he tries, it all leads back to Janice. Great, instead of being the biggest find in child porn history, it turned out this is some sick joke. So Mark calls it a day.